Dear students, greetings for the day. Today we will study Restaurant Operation Control System. Necessity of good control system. Food and beverage department in a hotel, restaurant, or any catering establishment consists of closely linked system. The kitchen, restaurant, bar etc. In a hotel there may exist number of systems. All of these are reading together with the food and beverage facilities to form the total hotel system. The main aim of costing in a food and beverage establishment is to satisfy both the customer's requirements and the financial requirements. To achieve this objective, a suitable food and beverage control system need to be developed which must avoid excessive costs without sacrificing the quality, quantity and competitive price of the varied product being marketed. Since in most of the food and beverage establishment the raw material and payroll costs are the largest proportion of costs, the cost system aims to control these two costs effectively, at the same time meet the prescribed standards of profit and quality. Objectives of control system. The objectives of a food and beverage control are as follows. Analysis of income and expenditure. Establishment and maintenance of standards. Pricing. Prevention of waste. Prevention of fraud. Management information. Functions of control system. According to James K. Iser, control works best when it is used with other management process, such as planning, organizing, directing, and evaluating. According to him, there are two basic approaches: behavioristic approach, traditional approach. The traditional approach has two main aspects. One is directing personnel, or keeping an eye on things, or by walking around to see whether he or she can correct what is not right or what is cost control breakdowns. The other aspect of traditional approach is measurement of performance with that desired or deemed attainable. This is the comparison aspect of the management scheme, which is usually considered to have four parts. Establishing standards or goals. It can be expressed in different ways. For instance, a budget figure, a percentage figure, and a performance figure, such as meals served per server per hour. Measurement of performance. It means measuring performance, and it is usually a quantitative figure, such as amount and percentage figure. Comparison and analysis. Once the standard or goal has been established and actual performance is determined, it is possible to compare the two and a manager can find out the variance. Corrective action. Once a significant variance is determined, the manager must take corrective action. Such action must involve more observation, personnel. A series of built-in checks covering entire catering cycles are required to have a proper control over the operating activities. Taking order. As you know, order taking is a skillful art for any waiter. After proper greeting and seating, a waiter needs to wait for the guest to talk order. Today, we will learn how to take food order in restaurant through step-by-step instruction. Step 1. Observe your guest. Be observant and use proper timing. Smile, make eye contact and try to anticipate when the guest is ready to order. For example, when a guest closes the menu or look around, that is an indication that he or she is ready to order. Step 2. Approach to the table. Approach the guest table with a smile and maintain eye contact by saying, "Excuse me, Mr./Mrs./Miss," or "Sir, Madam, may I take your order please?" Step 3. Suggestive selling. Recommend your buffet to the guest by saying, "May I suggest our, according to the meal period, lunch buffet which consists of, dinner buffet which consists of, If the guest prefers to order from the a la carte menu, advise the guest of our daily specials or other promotion or for further suggestions accordingly by saying, "Excuse me Mr./Mrs./Miss. Or Sir, Madam, would you like to have an appetizer to start with? May I suggest our..." Step 4. Take the order. During the ordering process, note down the number of guests and items ordered in a sequential order corresponding to the seats on your order pad. Take order from the lady first, followed by an older gentleman or a guest, and the host last. Step 5. Repeat the order. After all the guests has ordered, repeat the order back from the order pad to the guests by saying, in a clear, confident and polite manner, "Excuse me Mr./Mrs./Ms. Or Sir, Madam, may I repeat your order please?" They are. Step 6. Inform the timeline. Step 7. Before leaving the table, when guest has acknowledged the order, thank guest politely and collect all menu. The bill should be kept ready for presentation as soon as the guest requires it and present it when the guest asked. The bill is presented at table and is placed in front of the guest from their right-hand side. Open up the bill holder and stated the total amount that the guest must pay. Common method of payment are cash and credit cards. Volume forecasting is often referred to as production planning. It is a method of predicting the volume of sales for an establishment for a specified future period. The objectives of volume forecasting are to predict the total number of meals to be sold in each selling outlet of an establishment at each meal period, for example the number of breakfasts to be served in the dining hall and the coffee shop, and by floor service, to predict the choice of menu items by customers, to facilitate purchasing. To ensure availability of all necessary ingredients, to ensure that appropriate stock levels are held, to control food costs in relation to sales. To enable the food controller to compare the actual volume of business done by each of the selling outlet with the potential volume of business as forecast, and for management to take action where necessary. Volume forecasting is generally done in two stages: an initial forecast and final forecast. The initial forecast. It is generally prepared a week in advance, and shows a. The estimated total number of meals to be taken in each selling outlet, b. The estimated total of each menu item, for each day of the following menu week. The initial forecast itself would be based on the following factors: past records, sales histories, advance bookings. The final forecast. The final and more accurate forecast usually takes place the day before the preparation and service of the particular meal. This takes into account the following: the previous day's food production and food sales figures. The weather conditions must be taken into account for the next day. Interdepartmental transfer. All beverage products transferred to other hotel departments must be authorized by a written, signed requisition or transfer request. This requisition or transfer request must be signed by a manager in the department making the request. The authorized individual fulfilling the request must also sign the requisition, transfer request. All transfers should be logged by department and dollar amount on a daily basis. Transfers must be submitted to accounting on a weekly basis to facilitate transfer journal entries. At period end, accounting should receive a copy of the daily transfer log to allow a thorough reconciliation. On this summary sheet, cashier maintains the complete record of restaurant sales. When he issues a check to pick-up waiter, he gets his signature, and when he, waiter, returns the check to the cashier, then the lower perforated portion of the check along with cashier's signature and stamp is returned to the waiter, and this is his proof that he has returned the check to the cashier. In case this check is lost, then he is required to pay the price of the check and a fine. The restaurant sales summary sheet is prepared in duplicate and a copy each is sent to the accounts department and control department. In case guest settles his bill in cash, then the amount received is shown in the cash column and discount allowed is shown in the discount column. In case the guest settle his bill by signing, either as a hotel resident or as a credit card, debit card holder, then the total amount is shown in the ledger column, and in the remarks column the room number, name of the guest, credit card number, debit card number and other details are entered. Cashier then signs in the signature column. Cash control. All cash must be kept under lock and key and under the supervision of the cashier. The cash bank float given to the cashier is also controlled and a check is kept on the same. The cashier should take proper precautions when dealing with foreign currency. Whenever the guest pays in cash, the cashier has to make a cash receipt and hand it over to the guest. The cash collected every day should be sent to the bank for deposit. Cash control is important from the point of view of hotel, as credit sales are usually discouraged. Credit control. A credit limit is set for the guest depending on his credit profile and then in turn must be marked on his folios. The front office must monitor guest and non-guest accounts to ensure they remain within acceptable credit limits. Typically, a line of credit is set for guests who establish charge privileges during the reservations or registration process. Guests who present an acceptable credit card at registration may be extended a line of credit equal to the floor limit, credit limit set by the issuing credit card company. Guest and non-guest accounts with other approved credit arrangements are subject to limitations established by the front office. These internal credit restrictions are called house limits. Front office management may need to be notified when a front office account approaches the house limit. Such accounts are called high-risk or high-balance accounts. The front office auditor, or night auditor, is primarily responsible for identifying accounts which have reached or exceeded predetermined credit limits. Front office management may request the guest to make a partial payment to reduce the outstanding account balance. Hotels must ensure that the guests who are given credit facility from the hotel are able to pay their bill in full within the scheduled period of time, and only then the hotel should fix a house limit. Usually the hotel's credit policy allows credit to guaranteed payment reservation guests, company guarantee payment guests, credit card guarantee guests, deposit, advance payment reservation guests.